Hi, my name is Pasi Sahlberg. Currently, I'm a visiting professor at the Harvard Graduate School of Education in Cambridge, Massachusetts. But I'm originally from Finland, where I have spent most of my life working for the Finnish education system. That's why I would like to speak a little bit about the Finnish school system, a Finnish lesson. That is the title of my book. And I decided to write the book a few years ago because Finland had become, against all expectations, a kind of a world leader in education, and people started to ask that why Finland is doing so well and what is behind this unexpected success in Finnish school system. In Finland, we didn't really think about having anything particular in our schools before the first OECD PISA study came along in year 2000. Results were published in 2001. And it actually took quite a number of years before in Finland we believed that there is something that we should be sharing and telling. And that's why I decided to write this book and try to capture not necessarily kind of a list of explanation what could be behind the successful education system in Finland, but try to tell the story and try to understand how Finns have been able to climb all the way up to the mountain of global education where everybody has been looking at us. Let me share you a couple of ideas that I have in the book. First of all, I think it's very difficult or impossible to give a kind of explanation that would be rational and short why any country would be doing well in education or why any country would be doing poorly. So that's why I don't even try to give you the list of 5 reasons behind Finland's good success. But there are a couple of things that are now commonly held kind of facts why Finland were able to do that. One of them is that we have a school system that we designed 40 years ago where we insist that every child will go to the similar type of school. We don't provide private schools or charter schools or any kind of alternative forms of education to the extent that most other countries do. So we kind of insist that every school must be a good school, and every school must have great teachers and great leaders there in the school, rather than select and segregate students and teachers to different schools. And when we started to have this type of system about 40 years ago in Finland, obviously we had a question before us that how do we cope with in the classrooms with the increasing diversity? And now when Finland is having more and more immigrant children in the school, this question is again with us that what is a good way to make sure that every single child in every single classroom will be successful? And so we decided to put in place a kind of a universal special education system where not only special educational services were available for everybody, but they were available early on, so that we wanted to react as soon as there was an issue with the child, and every school and every teacher were able to help children in the day one, so that they could catch up the others and feel successful. And then the third one, which is often the kind of a number one thing that people take away from Finland, which is a teacher issue, that we decided to upgrade our teacher qualification and teacher education in already in 1970s to be master's degree based, research based, academic trained profession, where each and every teacher in Finland must have a master's degree issued by one of the research universities in Finland, and this has been able to kind of enhance the professionalism of teachers and professionalism of our school leaders as well, to the point that the schools are really operating as a high professional institutions where collaboration and professional sharing and kind of a diagnosis of the teaching and learning is a common practice every day in every school. So these are some of these aspects that I discuss in detail in my book, and I guess that these are the issues that many of my colleagues and many people around the world now associate somehow to the high performance. A kind of a side story of this Finnish lessons, this Finnish story, is that I guess that without Finland being there and showing that relying and trusting on teachers and building a kind of equitable school system where everybody has an opportunity to be successful without reliance on standardized testing or competition or standardization or strong accountability, I think we wouldn't have this thing that I call global educational reform movement. That is a kind of a idea of kind of a set of ideas of issues that and principles that people often believe are necessary in order to have a high-performing school system. And these things are now very visible around the world. If you look around school systems here in the United States, or you go to Europe or many parts of Asia, you will see that competition, standardization, standardized testing, test-based accountability, merit-based pay, technology replacing teachers, and even these fast-track teacher preparation programs that have become so common are very widely applied and employed in different school systems. And I guess it's very much because of Finland was there, and Finland does not really have any of these ideas as a kind of a driving forces behind the educational improvement since the 1970s. And so many people are asking that why Finland is able to have a successful school system without standardization or standardized testing, or without having a teacher preparation schemes where teachers can be prepared and educated in a 6-week summer course and then sent to teach in a school. So that's why, you know, this also invites the question that, you know, if we have this germ infection or global educational reform movement kind of a dominance in our school system, what is a good way to stay immune or resistant to this type of thing? And Finland's response often is that if you want to avoid many of these negative things coming with the global educational reform movement, one thing to do is to make sure that your teachers and principals are highly educated, that they should be prepared with the knowledge and skills like medical doctors or lawyers are, so that they can also prevent their own profession from the harmful ideas that often come with the standardized testing and competition and school choice and these things. So the simple answer to this question, that why Finland has not been affected by the global educational reform movement that is so common in many other parts of the world, it's simply that we have a high professional teaching force. We have educational leaders in our schools that are highly trained, and they are able to read and understand what's happening in the world, and that's why they are able to stay away from these harmful ideas. So this is my little story. Please read more from Finnish Lessons, and if you really want to see what's going on, come to Finland and see yourself. Thank you very much.